Na mame kwa umane so na mene Minia Castro Niela. Senyalah. And Castro, I hope all is well with you over there. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning to you, and everything is fine.
Are you safe?
Yes, I'm safe and sound.
Good. Yes. So, give me the background to this this particular story. I'm told that one person has been gunned down due to the conflict at Bawku right now as we speak. What is the latest?
Yes. So the latest is that Bawku is cool and calm now. The security agencies are intensifying patrols throughout the municipality, and as we speak today, there haven't been any latest killings as far as the conflict is concerned. But then on Saturday, a man who is a driver who shuffles between Bawku and Bolga was killed on the highway. We understand that the gunman who accosted him on a motorbike stopped him somewhere between Bawku and Binduri near the Bawku Senior High School, where they killed him. He was carrying 6 school girls from Bawku Township towards Bolga Tanga. I understand he was taking them to Bolga, but this gunman stopped him along the way and asked the girls to get disembark from the vehicle. After that, they shot him in the vehicle and then touched the vehicle or set on fire.
Is that what we are seeing, that the car is heavily burnt to ashes?
Yes, the car was burnt to ashes. The police and the military couldn't respond, but by the time they arrived, the perpetrators had absconded. That has since, sparked fear among residents who continue to ask that government should do much as far as protecting the highways against some of these attacks. Is concerned. Residents say that they are not able to move between the major towns to trade because they have fears that they can be attacked on the highways. Similarly, they are asking that security should be improved along the Bogatanga, Walwale, Tamale, Nasia road as well, because there too there's been some incidents of deadly attacks leading to the deaths of a lot of people. This is what residents have been saying.
Interesting. So, at this point in time, does it look like you guys are not safe in your own community?
Yes. So, Bawku is the epicenter of the conflict since it's renewed. About 2 weeks ago, following the arrival of a parole chief into the town. And so, as we speak now, the understanding is that Bawku has 2 chiefs. But then, all other communities aren't really part of the conflict. When I say communities, I mean places like the regional capital, Bogatanga, Binduri, and then the Villa and Nabdam and all the other areas. However, because the attacks sometimes happen on the highways, so sometimes, an attack can happen somewhere around Nabdam, which is far off, which is like some 60 kilometers away from Bawku itself. And that is what the concerns have been. That the conflict is taking a different dimension where it has been exported out of the Bawku municipality. And that is why authorities are not happy. Recently, the Bogatanga Traditional Council issued a statement where it condemned the exploitation of the conflict and saying that innocent lives were being lost, lives that are not, people that are not connected to the conflict. Other tribes that are not in one way or the other connected to the conflict are being killed, and for that matter, the feuding factions needed to cease the conflict and begin to sit down and have peaceful dialogues instead of resorting to violence. To end the conflict. The Bogatanga Traditional Council was so clear on the fact that if this continues without any recourse to peaceful dialogue, it would have no other option than to also take actions to protect its citizens. Now, there's also been a lot of concerns from the Regional Peace Council, which has also been calling for all the factions, the 2 factions, to put the guns down and then sit down as brothers and sisters and discuss the issues find where there are cracks, and then they mend them with the support of government and the security agencies. But it appears all of these calls have not really been heeded as more and more lives continue to get lost in the Bawku conflict, which appears to have no end in sight after almost 5 years of the renewal and the wanton destruction of lives and property.
Very interesting. For Utemia, Obetimi live on Facebook and watch a school grandma so stranded. Na when you are to talk to no Bawku. Now, so at this point in time, it looks like the students themselves and the people within the Bawku enclave are not equally in good. They are not of sound mind because the conflict has no end. They do not have any time. They don't know what time this conflict is going to end.
Exactly. If you come to Bawku, for instance, the only tertiary institution there, which is the Presbyterian National College, has had to get 2 campuses for each of the factions. There is the main campus, and then there's another campus that has been carved out as a result of the conflict, because the authorities of the school want to protect students as much as possible.
Wow.
You can't be part of faction A and then you are in an area where faction B should be, and you can't be in faction B and be in an area where people or sympathizers of faction A should be. And so
that is so disturbing.
Yes. And so and the other instances are that workers who belong to faction A can work in facilities where the faction B people are controlling it. And you can also work in faction B where faction A people are controlling it. It is very, very serious. You can't cross lanes in some major suburbs within the Bawku area. You can't trade. There are a lot of things you can't do. Children cannot even cross to school. There are schools that are, schools are, basic amenities where people cross over to go and study and, learn something new. And in Bawku, that is not the case. You can't cross from one end to the other. This is what used to, before the conflict, they lived peacefully. You could cross from one side to the other. Traders were trading. Women engaged themselves in trading. They could move from one end to the other without any problem. Men could sit down and have some good time, conversate, and have very good time together. But as you speak now, all of that has ceased. You cannot go anywhere.
Now, so what are the authorities be saying? I.e., the regional minister, the MCA, security personnel, and what have you? What have they been saying?
Local authorities are very, very careful to comment on the Bawku issue because Bawku, the issues happening in Bawku are very delicate. You say this today and you may spark or trigger anger. And so authorities are very careful. But that notwithstanding, a lot has been happening. A lot is happening. First of all, there has been heavy deployment of soldiers and police to maintain the peace and security there. The Bawku, as we speak now, is now witnessing the heaviest military police presence ever since the conflict began. We've had a lot more soldiers being brought in from Tamale, the Northern Command headquarters, to support the peacekeeping troops on the ground. That's number one. Number two, government continues to engage and hold dialogue with the feuding factions, hoping that things will improve. The third intervention has also been the curfew, where government has reviewed it from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. All of these are efforts to see how best they can, contain the situation, which keeps deteriorating day in and day out.
So it obviously looks like things are not going to be okay from now till probably the end of December or probably the end of this month. Because from the story you are telling us, it looks like the conflict keeps on coming, the fight keeps on coming, to extent that a car has been burnt to ashes without even recognition.
That is true, and that is the concern of a lot of residents across the municipality. The concerns are that if the conflict does not end anytime soon, then the people may not have the chance to participate in their civic responsibility of selecting, the next group of political, office holders and their leaders. And so the calls are that government should continue its efforts, irrespective of the continuous deterioration of the situation, to see how best they can arrest it as quickly as possible, so that residents of Bawku entirely will be able to take part in the elections on December 7th.
Yes, so that brings me to my next question. So, are we seeing political activities somewhere around Bawku and its enclaves? Not
at all. The last time a political activity happened in Bawku was when the running mate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jino visited Bawku, and even that she had to put the political campaign or the campaign activities on hold in the Bawku area because of the volatile nature of the town. She had planned to meet women groups. She had planned to hold small rallies. She had planned to meet the youth. She's so particular about engaging women. She was so particular about meeting all manner of groups within the Bawku township. But when she arrived, the renewal of the conflict started a day before she arrived. And so when she arrived, the dawn and head of all of that, she had to cancel everything. She only went to pay homage to the Bawku Naba, and after that she left. She didn't even spend up to 2 hours in Bawku. And that goes to tell you that things are very bad. Now, that aside, a lot of candidates of both the ruling NPP and the NDC have come out to put on hold all campaign activities. Talk about the Zibila parliamentary candidate for the NPP. Talk about the Binduri parliamentary candidate for the for the NDC. They've all come out to put all of this on hold because, first of all, they want to be sure that the peace returns to Bawku, because without peace, you can't do political campaigns. The people are suffering. The people are not happy about what is happening. And so for you, a politician, to continue to go about your campaign activities, despite the fact that the people feel threatened, shows that you don't even care about their welfare. And so these politicians have decided to put everything on hold and call on government to do what it should do to bring peace and serenity.
No, so finally on this, my brother, finally on this, can you confirm to me the death toll now, as we speak, at Bawku?
Yes, Bawku, the death tolls in Bawku, even the police themselves have lost count, primarily because of the fact that sometimes deaths happen in obscure areas where people can't access there, and so that goes unaccounted. Unaccounted. They are not able to count that as part of it. But as we speak now, the understanding is that the death toll is up to 25.
Wow.
That's what the figures I'm getting since the conflict renewed 2 weeks ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. But as I said earlier on, yes, deaths do happen in obscure areas. Bawku is a very large town. One of the biggest towns we have in the Upper East region. And so this conflict has torn it apart. Sometimes deaths can happen in very obscure areas without the notice of the police.
Wow.
And these people can be interred quickly without the police even knowing. And so the police themselves have been working with them, both police and military, and they themselves have even lost count. They don't even know because they are there. They hear that this person was killed 3 days, 4 days ago. You don't know how many of them. You don't know what happened and all that. And so the police themselves are even very careful as to the toll figures. I've been speaking to senior officers in both the security agencies who continue to tell me that the issue is not even about how many people have been killed. The issue is about how the killings can stop so that people get the peace they need.
But has there been any form of arrest?
No, there haven't been any form of arrest. Arrests are difficult because, like I stated earlier on, an attack happens on the highway. The highway is the highways are plenty. An attack will happen on the highway between Bawku and then let's say Zibila long highway, an attack happens there in the bushes, the police will definitely respond, the military will respond, but before they get there, the attackers would be long gone. That is what is happening. It's not that sometimes the attacks happen. Yes, the attacks sometimes happen within the epicenter of the conflict, but the majority of them happen on the highways. Let's take the highway between Bolga to Nasia. You would go through Bulugu, through Walwale, through before you get to Nasia. An attack happen on that would happen on the highway, which is lonely. The police is called, the military is called, and before they even arrive, these attackers who usually go on motorbikes helps to get away quickly, and that is why there's been a total ban on the use of motorbikes in the Bawku municipality. So the police, before getting there, these attackers will jump on their motorbikes and quickly get away. So it becomes very difficult for the police to be able to arrest anyone. The only thing they can do, the police and the military, is provide security to first of all, even stop the attack from happening. And that's the best they are doing as far as, restoring peace to Bawku and ending the atrocities is concerned.
My brother, may you be safe. And I pray that you will find peace at Bawku as we speak.
Thank you.
Very well. Senyalah Castro Cazo, Onua FM Reporter, Bawku Mino Kase. Na arehosem kese pa esi se nipa kukum ne kra no omo lusi count. Niye on records ne de omo nim se nkofo be 25 na etu akeka won na omo awu. But as the stance now ne de omo nim nkofo do omo awu.
Onua 95.1 FM. Yeah,